gamers just want the industry to thrive. We are willing to speak with our wallets when a product looks bad, so maybe a company will turn around one day and go back to their roots and actually try to give us products that are worth our money. And now gamers are speaking up yet again, this time about AI, because we have apparently scared EA, Take-Two, and CD Projekt Red when it comes to using it. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, the only response I really have to gamers are making these companies scared to use AI is good, because on one hand, I want to defend real human beings doing high quality work. But on the flip side, it has become very hard to defend people like localizers, right, who take existing products and then make politically charged changes to them. And while I don't think AI is going to be like the magical answer to all of our problems by any means, I do think that it could do more harm than good if you have an AI that you're just giving these general outlines to and then it pumps out a script, because AI can also be politically motivated. You can also have it follow political parameters. And I don't trust companies with something like AI. The point of a video game is that it is art. It is enjoyable. Somebody put so much time and work and effort into AI, and I just don't trust companies. And now apparently they are afraid of this. So this past week, Fortnite introduced an AI Darth Vader using James Earl Jones' voice to respond to players' voice chats. I don't know what the heck they were thinking with this. There was never a way this was going to turn out to be good, but it was goofy fun, as in keeping with Jones's voice rights deal. But AI is not starting to make some large publishers nervous for a few reasons. It says Jason Schreier has an excellent article over at Bloomberg. Jason Schreier highlights that recent reports from big companies like EA and Take-Two have addressed the issue, as well as others like CDPR. On its surface, it seems like Gen AI could be used as a tool in games to produce artwork, voice acting, or even game elements themselves, but these companies are starting to realize the very real risks this poses, both legally and reputationally. Take-Two says that the use of AI presents social and ethical issues that may result in legal and reputational harm and liability, and EA echoes something similar, saying that the use of AI may result in legal and reputational harm, which could cause players to lose confidence in our business and brand. So they're all just using the same general PR speak. They are trying to say that there could be consequences to their actions, and I'm glad they're finally getting that through their thick skulls. A big problem is that when one company does something, every company does it. Look at Nintendo. Oh, they raised some of their first-party game prices to $80. Microsoft instantly followed suit. We're hearing reports that Sony wants to do the same, and we might even get $100 GTA 6. This is the consequence of one big company doing something, but they, when it comes to AI, are being a little bit more withdrawn or withheld. They're not just jumping into the deep end of the pool, which I think is good, but also doesn't mean that they won't in a year or a year and a half, because companies are always looking to put the least amount of money possible into a product and make maximum profit. So if they think, oh, we can get rid of half of our writers and then the rest of them can just polish up what AI did, well, maybe we'll actually end up making more money because we're not spending as much when it comes to paying people for their high quality work. Now, yes, the problem that we face with that argument is that there are a lot of activists within this industry who are not actually good at their jobs. Now, if you would prefer a real human doing something or an AI doing something, at the end of the day, the results could be extremely similar. I just worry that for the actual talented people in this industry, for the few passionate people that actually care about video games and the stories they're creating, their work would be overshadowed. Like, look at Expedition 33. Imagine if we had an AI basically doing that. It wouldn't be as beloved as it is, because it wouldn't have that level of heartfelt emotion and passion. So it is definitely a slippery slope. But when it comes to things like the AI Darth Vader, I think that that is stupid. Why would they ever think that that wasn't going to be abused by players, but that it was going to be a quirky, fun experience? People will always push the limits. And if you don't even allow people to talk freely in voice chat over something like Xbox Live, how are you supposed to handle people feeding adult words or slang or slurs at Darth Vader and then Darth Vader saying the same exact thing back? Like, you can't control that AI in your game. So how did you ever see that going over well? But I'm honestly glad that people are scaring these companies into holding back on their plans a little bit, because I don't want everybody to be following suit. I don't want everybody to be following Epic's lead with loot boxes. Oh, when one company puts loot boxes into a game, every company suddenly wants to do it. And I worried that AI could have been the next thing when it comes to like these AI characters, but maybe that won't happen. And it seems that I am not alone in saying, good. I'm glad we're scaring companies, because it means that they actually are trying, I guess in some way, to kind of listen to us, maybe because they are just terrified of the consequences. But people are saying, good. This is so much worse than NFT bullshit and loot chests. Good. Good. Where's that kind of energy for the finals or arc raiders being infested with AI voice work? Now, of course, companies aren't saying that they will not use AI at all. Very careful wording, but they're not going ahead with all of the plans they once might have had. And I do think that, yes, one of the big reasons that they are worried about AI is because all of the lawsuits against companies. Look at writers, for example. There are millions of books that were used to train AI, and now people like George R.R. Martin are suing these AI companies because their work was stolen to actually train these systems. They are afraid that if these companies start losing those slews of lawsuits, they will be next on the chopping block. This is just one of the many articles on it, but more authors have sued OpenAI for copyright infringement, joining other writers in pursuing legal action against generative AI companies for using their books to train AI models. The Authors Guild and 17 well-known authors like George R.R. Martin and Jodi Picoult filed the lawsuit in the Southern District of New York. The plaintiffs hope to get the filing classified as a class action, and according to the complaint, OpenAI copied their works wholesale without permission or consideration and fed the copyrighted materials into large language models, so these authors' livelihoods are derived from the works that they create. And if you can just go to a chat GPT and type in, oh, write like Brandon Sanderson, then they face major problems when it comes to their career. So it is definitely interesting to see game makers now kind of changing their tune, because it seemed that they were going to be diving headfirst into the AI pool, that this was going to be a big focus for them. But apparently gamers are making them extremely afraid, given we are willing to speak with our wallets, and we are willing to speak up when we see companies doing something that we don't agree with. So I'll definitely be keeping my eye on this, but as of right now, it looks like these companies are taking a step back. But that's all that I really had to discuss in my video. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next one really soon.